Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omni video. Today I'm going to do a Should You Poll on Iroha FR. So that is the next banner coming. It should be coming pretty shortly after this video goes out. So on this banner, it's going to be Iroha FR. We're going to get 7 with her C90 upgrade. And then Raijin is just basically coming back. And then you can also still get Lunafreya BT on here. So the first thing I would say is if you're still chasing Lunafreya BT and you like one of these characters, then sure, maybe go ahead and summon on it. But I'm going to kind of evaluate the characters, and I'll just tell you overall for the average player if I would summon on this or not, right? So we'll start with Raijin, because he's kind of just like the character along for the ride here. He doesn't really get anything new with this. He just is coming back, basically. Raijin is somebody whose call is very valuable. I would say in the party, like, sure, you can use him, but he's not, like, my most used character. But his call is actually very valuable, and you've probably heard me talk about Raijin call before. So if you want to summon for his LD for his call specifically, he is worth it. It is a very good call. The call basically gives the enemy a 2-turn debuff that basically makes it so the enemies can't do any HP damage to you. So it's very useful for situations where you sometimes can cheese a fight that requires a tank without bringing a tank, where if you can get away with using Raijin call around specific thresholds where the boss normally would kill you, they basically wouldn't be able to. Or it's just really good to have for a safety net just in a situation where you know a boss is going to do a really big nasty attack, and you want to avoid it. So Raijin call is very, very good indeed. So his call is worth summoning for. For him in the party, it's totally up to you. He's just kind of a slow character that sits there. And he will protect your party really well, because that's what his LD does. Same thing as his call, right? So he is a safe character to bring, but he's slow. He doesn't really he's not like very active in the party, right? Which that's why most people like him for the call. Then we have 7. So 7 is getting a C90 upgrade. I already have 7's LD, so I don't really have to debate whether pulling or not. But 7 does a couple different types of elements. I want to say fire, and then I think she also has like lightning in there as well. 7's kind of just a generic-ish damage dealer. 7 never really has been great. She gets upgraded, and she's just kind of okay every time, and I kind of feel like this is the same situation. Basically, her kit revolves around a very specific debuff called Snakebite, and then when you attack with certain attacks with Snakebite, like, she gets bonus damage from it, and then she also gets, like, this Bondage Whip buff that gives her follow-ups. So she does okay damage, does some follow-ups, has some elemental damage, but really, she's not that special. Like, she doesn't do anything crazy. So I honestly wouldn't recommend people summon for her unless she's like a favorite, right? And then we have Iroha. So Iroha is a character I do like. The thing with Iroha is if you already have her LD, you wouldn't necessarily have to summon just to get the FR if you don't want to. Like, she's going to be viable with her C90 upgrade and LD. She's basically a support character. She does battery. She's got healing. Her big mechanic or her big gimmick, which actually her call is quite useful for, she applies a buff to the party that makes it so when they extend Brave to do HP damage, they only use 80% of their Brave, but they do the full HP damage. So essentially what this means, it's kind of like a Brave floor. It operates a little bit differently, but essentially what happens is anytime your player dumps HP, they're going to have 20% of their Brave left. So if a character's doing like multi-dumps, and then they do Brave gains in between, basically every time that they're going to start a new dump, they're starting at 20% of their Brave instead of 0 Brave. So it allows them to do a lot more damage. So Roja pairs really well with characters like Machina or DPS characters that have a lot of dumps in their kit. So she's very cool for that. And like I said, she's got healing, so she can operate as like your main support character. Now her FR I think is particularly interesting in that it's a very generic FR. So the one I think plus of Iroha, like the reason I feel like you'd want to go for the FR is because it is so generic. You can literally use it with any team comp. You don't need anything specific. So her FR conditions for the HP damage up is having 100% or better HP and having 20% or more Brave at the beginning of your turn, right? So obviously if Iroha is already in your party to use the FR, she's going to keep your party at 20% Brave or better, so you're always going to be meeting that. So as long as you're at full HP and Iroha's in the party and you have her like Brave Floor effect up, you're getting 50% per action. So it's, I mean, it won't get as high as numbers as like a Cam or a Tidus or something maybe, but like 50% for any action for any party member is quite flexible and very, very easy to use. So Me going into this is going to be interesting. So here's what I would say. For the average player that's low on resources, I would not recommend this. I don't think any of these are like must-have characters. That being said, there are very good things in here. Namely, I would say Raijin's LD is a very good thing to get out of here for the call. And Iroha's FR is very good. If, say, you're a player that you either don't have many FRs or you want more FRs that are easy to use. So this is why this is tough for me. Because for me, this is pretty much a skip for me personally because I already have a Roja. I have every character on this banner fully built. Literally all I would need is a Roja FR. Now the thing that is kind of tempting me to go for a Roja FR is because it is so generic and easy to use, and the prospect that Dare to Defy could be coming back. Without Dare to Defy, this is 100% easy skip. But with Dare to Defy, I was finding myself, when I got to like level 7 last time, I was like running out of FRs to use. And having something like a Roja that I could just plug and play, because the way I would use a Roja for Dare to Defy is she probably would be a character I just save for whatever the last stage is, knowing I can use it like safely with any team comp, right? And then having that, it was just a really nice safety net. So my personal plan, I'm definitely not touching this with, my gems are getting pretty low. Like I'm getting to the point, guys, where I have to like stop summoning on every banner. Like I can't just keep doing it. But I think I've got 350 tickets. I might chuck a couple hundred tickets just to try to get that far because I actually would really like it and I think I would value it. I do see it as a good piece to have. But for the average player, I think this banner is a fairly easy skip. There will be better things coming in the future. I'd say if you haven't gotten Lunafreya yet, you need to go on her banner first and like get her whole kit. If you got her whole kit except the BT and you like what I said about some of these characters, then sure, go for maybe a Roja or Raijin while going for the BT. That's totally up to you, right? So anyways, guys, hope this helps. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.